Hello, everyone. Janet here today with another Ireland layout. Actually, two. I'm going to try to do two layouts in each video because there's going to be a lot of layouts, somewhere between 35 and 40 total two-page layouts. And I don't want to have like 35 or 40 videos for it. So I'm trying to do two. So I will try to, make sure I'm moving along pretty good so that it's not more than an hour. And honestly, I don't even want it to be that long. But I know a lot of you guys always tell me you don't care how long it is, but I also know some people won't watch videos if they're really long. So, um, I want you guys to watch it and enjoy it. And I mean, that's why I'm doing it. So I hope you do. So what I have today, um, in this episode is going to be two Dublin layouts, and then the next episode after this will be two more. This one is our hotel, though, so I'm going to call it a Dublin layout because it was in Dublin, but the other three Dublin layouts are all like Dublin sightseeing layouts. But this one is the hotel, and I always like to do a layout that has the hotel, but I don't want to focus on the hotel like so much. So one side's going to be the outside of the hotel, the lobby, the room, and the bathroom. Um, Again, like I said in the last video, I like to document where I've stayed and like look back on the pictures of what the bathroom was like, what the room was like, what I thought about the stay. This side is basically our welcome dinner for our first night of our tour with our tour company. So I've got the menu, and then I've got just a couple pictures of the food. So I have these laid out kind of how I think I want to do them. And again, like I said in the last video, sometimes I will be using sketches, and sometimes I will be just gauging what my pictures are and just trying to see how I can fit them all in. Because if you did watch the first video, you know that I said that I have a habit of scrapbooking way too many photos, and I'm really trying to cut back because my books just get so thick and big. And that's all fine and well if it fits in one book. I have some trips where it's two books, and I don't want to do that anymore. One album per trip is plenty. So this is the other side of this paper. And again, I like these themed papers and stickers. So when I do take a trip, I have a lot of that. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to cut this in half for a 6-inch sheet. And again, I'm also making three books at the same time. So after I film this video, I will be making the other two books layouts for each layout. So it's a good bit of stuff. So I'm trying to use paper accordingly. So I was thinking this side could have this, and then this is going to go over here. And then these, I already cut the photos down to save a little bit of time. I basically trimmed the photos down enough that I have a little bit of the green border. That's why I'm using a green base page instead of white or something. So that way you can still see like the border between it. So it almost gives you the illusion that they're matted. And then over here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mat these two on white. So I would mat it on this and kind of cut it in half. And then this one on orange and this one in orange. And then I was thinking these two I did cut down so that they fit and there's a little bit of green around them. I'm thinking of not matting these, and I'm thinking about putting a strip of this word paper at the top here just to tie it in. It would only go in the top just because I have the Ireland on the bottom, but I think that it would tie the two pages together nicely. So that's what I'm leaning towards. So first I'm going to get some of these photos matted so that I can see if indeed that will work. So that's where we're going to start at. But I hope you guys did get to see the first video, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little longer than I wanted it to be too, so I'm going to try to work on that. And I'm going to make these have like a really thin border. Like I don't feel like they need to have a really thick mat. I just kind of want a little bit of matting on them. I'm not a person who has to mat all photos. In fact, like I said, I may leave those without, but sometimes it just looks better. Like in this case, there's just a lot of dark green. I just think that the mats will help the pictures pop a little bit. So those will fit on there. And we're going to trim them down to about an eighth. It's about an 1/8 inch border. And I watch some videos where people print their photos with the white border around them. so they almost already look matted. And I like that idea, but I printed my pictures through Walgreens and I didn't see a lot of options for doing all of that. Maybe they're there and I've missed them, but yeah, I like the idea, but now if I print them out myself, I have the PictureMate 400 printer. So if I were to print those out myself, then I could um, do the border. Like I can use that print to size app where I can kind of make it look like that. But it's a lot of work to do that, like with a bunch of pictures. And again, I'm doing multiple books, so it's a lot of work, I think. So I'm not sure. I also have so much white cardstock, so it's not a big deal to really use that to mat with. But on the flip side of that, the more cardstock and paper you use, the thicker the book ends up being. And I even try to stick to not so bulky embellishments now. In fact, the ones that are really 3D, I will peel off the foam backing so that they're not as thick. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this side down first because I feel like it's kind of already figured out. I got to just decide if I want to do the word paper over there. I think I should because I don't know what else, unless I put these closer to the top, just so there's not a lot of dead space, and maybe kind of just center these. But, and I could also, it's too bad this isn't a live. You guys could help tell me what I should do here. um, I could do like a skinny strip of it here and a skinny strip of it there because the words are, it's a small print, so it might work, but I don't know. I'm going to think about that side for a minute. So let's just go over here where I already know what's happening. So again, some of these layouts will be more basic than others. So if you're looking for super elaborate layouts, they may not always fit the bill. But some of them I'm going to use sketches for, which I can get a little creative with, like embellishments and embellishment clusters and stuff like that. But again, with me buying so many papers like this, again, it's a blessing and a curse kind of situation because it's fun to use themed paper for wherever you're at, but it does kind of limit some of the creativity that you can have because you can only do so much when it's got stuff printed all over it. So there's that, but I like it. I like the theme stuff. I'm just working on not buying quite as much of it so that like there's not just a ton of things that just say Ireland, Ireland, Ireland all throughout the book. So um let me know in the comments below if you use themed stuff when you scrapbook. Like if you take a trip like this is Ireland, would you have also bought a bunch of like Ireland paper and stickers? Or would you just use travel paper, which I have a lot of as well, and I do want to use. Luckily, I used it in the last video with my travel, my airplane layout. I got a couple of adhesive things I can switch back and forth between, but I'm gonna have to fill them up probably before the end of the video. So there, this page was relatively easy to put together. I just have to decide what I'm gonna do for embellishing. And this I think would look kind of cool tilted. Maybe part of my OCD doesn't like it that like that. Part of my OCD says it needs to be straight. It would look nice tilted if something else was kind of tilted that way with it, but I don't know what that would be. I'd have to look at the embellishments. So I'm not going to glue this one down just yet. I'm going to mat it, but I'm not going to glue it down because I want to think about it. I mean, it would look cute. Like, say this was a picture, like if it was like that, only this would have to be smaller, obviously. But I don't know. I could also put this flag somewhere, but is it flag overkill because there's a lot of flag? It's, that's again, that's the hard part about using so much theme stuff because it's like you put the same stuff around. I also think that the word Dublin would be good here. It's a nice solid green. It actually matches this really, really good. So I might use that. What else do we have? We have a lot of stuff. I kind of showed you guys briefly I mean, I've got the word Ireland, but I feel like since the word Ireland is right there, I'm not opposed to doing that. If I get to the end of the book and I have to use up some stuff, I will do that. But for right now, I don't feel like I'm in that situation. But I have this stuff too. Trip of a lifetime, that would be cute. The only thing is, the only reason I'm leaning towards putting a flag there is because I feel like putting words on top of words is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot to look at. So we will see. Let's figure out this side though. But this is my process when I'm scrapbooking. I'm like, what if I do this? What if I do that? And then I question myself a million times till I get it right. And I think the reason I cut these down to this size, I didn't even pre-plan this stuff that far in advance of filming this video, but for some reason I can't remember everything I wanted to do. But I think my plan was to leave this like this versus matting these, because with the people in this one, you can't really take any more off the sides to make it shorter to give more room for a mat. So these are definitely being glued on like that. And I am leaning towards just doing these words at the top because I think it'll tie into that page. I don't feel like I need to put it anywhere else because I have this. So if I did that, we have to just see how thick. I'm thinking like an inch. I could do an inch and a quarter. So I think I'm going to do that. Let me cut that because I have several sheets of this paper. So, and the other side is this, so I won't be using it again in the book like that because I've already done that. But this kind of paper I will use multiple times because like, it's a pattern paper. So I'm going to do 1 1/4. And if I decide I don't like that, I didn't waste too much of the paper. That's the way I'm feeling about it. So let's just see how that looked, shall we? I do just think it ties in to the other page. And then the pictures can be framed, right above it and on the sides, and then these below. I think I like that, guys. Hopefully you do too. We're going for it. We're going for it. That's why I like using sketches, especially if I'm pre-planning pages out for something like this, like filming. I don't have to try to remember what my plan was for those pages because the sketch tells me. And then we just have to figure out how we're going to embellish. And again, I don't know how many of you that are watching this video watched the first one. I'm hoping you guys kind of watch them in order, but um, I do also have a lot of travel embellishments and like travel words, like words that I could add to the pages or stuff like that. I don't have that stuff out while filming because I'm really trying to use up the Ireland stuff first and foremost. But when it comes down to when the book is done and I'm going back through to see, if I have extra space for stickers or words, I may dig into my travel um, box and get some stuff out of there. But I have to use the Ireland stuff first because this stuff isn't going to be useful on any other project except for this one. The travel stuff I can use on any trip. So I want to, go through my stash. And I know you guys are probably like me and you have way more stuff than you'll ever need in your entire life. And it gets you excited when you actually have a reason to use it. But yeah, I already bought this Ireland stuff. So it is what it is at this point. We kind of center, there we go. All right, so and I'm going to keep these close together. I could spread them out, but I'm going to keep them close together so that there is a little bit more space on the left and the right. And as of filming, I'm waiting on another Scrapbook Customs and a scrapbook.com order to have enough for the third book that I have to make because the third book wasn't originally planned. It was added in. And so when I initially bought this stuff, I only bought enough for the 2 books. So my goal is to make the layouts as close to the same as possible just to make things easier for me. But it'll be nice to actually get them so that I can do that. The Emerald Isle, but again, that's words on words. Do we have anything that isn't words? That's kind of what I should look for first. And this map of Ireland up here is just, it's too much. This is a very busy paper, so it's going to be, these are just like little coins. I don't know how well you can see them on the camera, but they've got indentations of like the country, the flag, a cross, a seal, Ireland with the country, and then like a euro symbol. It's really cute. Um, the suitcase with "Welcome to Ireland" would be cute because this is the beginning of the trip. Or it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign. It looked like this is a suitcase. This is a sign. Um, I am leaning towards putting that center, but I also may want it up here. I may want it down here. It depends on what I'm going to put here. I'm still kind of leaning towards this flag. I mean, what do you guys think? Again, by the time you see this, I'll have already made a decision, but it's solid. It breaks up the words. Even though there's flags in here, it also kind of goes because of that. So I'm leaning towards that. Let me just see what else I have. Look, you guys can see all these goodies that I bought. But see, I've got the word Ireland like a million times. So I need to be more choosy, I think, when I'm buying stuff so that that doesn't happen so much. But there's this Ireland travel notes. There's just this big suitcase that would also look nice there. So I'm leaning towards the suitcase or the flag. And something else I said in my last video is when you have really big embellishments like this, and I don't know if you guys can tell how big this is, but it is, almost as wide as a 4x5 or 4x6 picture. It's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches long. So when you have these really big embellishments, there's not always places to put that stuff. And so when you have an opportunity on a page to actually make that fit somewhere, that's not a bad thing. And I still want to maybe cut this in half and use both of those separately. But I like the "Welcome to Ireland." What if, hold on, I'm getting an idea. What if we cut this and put the "Welcome to Ireland" in the middle of the flag? I'm kind of feeling that, guys. I do like this suitcase though, too, especially on a hotel page. I think that's kind of cool. Now I'm torn because I like the suitcase, but I like that flag. The suitcase doesn't take up as much space, and I honestly feel like it's going to get lost in there. I think I'm going with the flag. So the question is, since it says "welcome," I think this should be at the top. I think we're going with that. I'm making a decision. Making a decision. And I'm cutting this close to the edge of the word because on the edge, the way it was printed is near the edge of the word. So this flag has an uneven border around it. Let me fix that so that when I go to use it, I don't not know about that and just leave it. So that flag can be used for something else. Um, yeah, I'm liking that idea. The good news is though, if I get through all these Ireland embellishments and I still need stuff, I have plenty of travel stuff, so it'll be fine. I like that in the middle of the flag though, and I just think that that really breaks that up a lot. So it's happening. Let me know in the comments if you like this idea. I'm using the tape runner that's out of tape. I just totally threw that sticker sheet across the table there. Okay, so we're going to get that in the center, and then we're gonna put this at the top of the page. Since it says "welcome," I think it's nice at the top. And then now we know where this is gonna go. And again, yes, I know I use more adhesive than I need to. And there's nothing anybody can say that's going to change the way I do that. So don't worry about it. Just hold your breath if it's bothering you. Okay, so now our layout is done. Now we just want to embellish some stuff here. So what I'm already feeling like is I like this Ireland map, and I almost feel like it would be cute like there. So I have that. This Ireland map is actually smaller and actually may fit better. So I may actually do that. And I still think I'd like to use a suitcase on the hotel page. So let me do that first. This one's smaller. And I always back stickers with more adhesive because I've noticed a lot of stickers are made kind of cheaply and they don't they don't hold. I think we're gonna just put that there. And whenever I caddy corner something like that, like I did in the first episode as well. I always feel like I need something else to kind of go the other way in there. So I will probably find something else that does that. But I'm leaning towards this Ireland map to be, and see, this is one of those instances where it's kind of, it's not too mega 3D, so I think I'm gonna leave it alone because I'd probably bend this all up trying to take the foam out from between. But I'm leaning towards putting that right there. I think I like that. But I need to put something else down here. I don't like that there. I kind of just like this here. I don't know why, I just do. Um, what can I put with that suitcase? Anything? Well, there's another little airplane, and even though this isn't my airplane layout, I already did that. Um, it's got the Ireland colors on it, so I'm not going to be able to use it anywhere else. And since we're still kind of just getting here in these layouts, it'd be better to kind of use that here early. I still want something else there. Oh, maybe this little stamp that says Ireland. Let's see how that looks. So maybe I'll move my plane. Maybe move this up. Maybe I'll put my plane right here below. I know you guys probably can't see it, my hand's in the way. But let me put it down first and then it's just, it's like two pieces with foam in between, so it's being persnickety, but there we go. Okay, that's a cute little cluster. I think that's cute. What do you guys think? All right, so what else do we want to do to these pages? Let's see. This side's gonna need something, and I almost kind of want something there. Like, I don't know, I go overboard with embellishment sometimes. You'll see that as these videos go on and on and on. Let's see what else we have. What's on this one? I don't know, but this side definitely needs something. So we've got to find something for it. There's all these 4-leaf clovers, maybe, or 3-leaf clovers. Maybe I should just put those. Let's just put a couple of those down and see how we feel. Maybe one down here. Maybe one up here. I just feel like this page is busy. I don't feel like it needs much. Oh, this Emerald Isle. How does that look right there? I don't know. I feel like it kind of gets lost in there. It's too dark, I think, for that dark green background. So scratch that. Do I have anything else that says Emerald Isle that might go? Oh, it's green. They're all going to be on green because it's Emerald Isle. All right. I could put the word Dublin, but I don't know. It doesn't fit right there. I might just leave it alone for right now. Again, I might be doing a lot of that, like leaving it alone, and then at the end when I do my final video, I can kind of go back and show you guys my embellishing process. But I thought I had a lot of embellishments, but when I'm actually going through them, it's not awful. Not awful actually. So I still really want something right there. I can't let it go. Um well, how big is the shamrock then? Oh, I think it's kind of big. It looks big already. I'm feeling like I'm seeing it. Yeah, that's way too big. Um I know I saw a shamrock. There's a 3D shamrock. Oh, here we go. This is the size I was thinking. Why don't we just put one of those there? That way there's three. They say your eyes move better with three. So I wonder if I don't want to move this one down to the other corner so that it's like a visual triangle. That's supposed to be good to do. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that is it. So this is what I think we've come up with. So I'm gonna let that be for now. And again, I may add some stuff to it later. But I just found somewhere that might be that good for that Dublin word that I saw. Oops. This Dublin actually might look nice here on the picture. Like right here, because you guys know I like to do that. Put picture. There we go. I like that. All right, so this one's done. Let me gather up the other one, the other layout and be right back. Okay, so I gathered up my next layout. So this is the first like Dublin sightseeing layout. I have a lot of pictures here, so I'm trying to squeeze a lot of pictures on one layout. This, like, this is the other side of this. So it's a companion page. So again, stuff like this does make things a little bit more complicated, but my plan was, and I've already cut these down as well to save some time because you guys know how to cut pictures. It's not like um, rocket science, you know. But what I'm thinking is something like this. So this layout being our first Dublin layout, I wanted something like this. So this is our picture with the Molly Malone statue. So all the couples or mother and daughter or mother and son. Um, and then these are from the when we were on the hop on and hop off bus. So these are some pictures I snapped while we were on that bus, and then I got a picture of all of us on the bus. So that's what I'm thinking about for this. Now these I'm gonna trim down because I still kind of want to see this. It's kind of part of the fun of having paper like this. It makes it harder to work with, but it also it embellishes itself. So um, yeah, there's that. Um, I'm thinking, trying to think. I have this like I don't know how well you see it, but this Dublin die cut. It's got the Samuel Beckett bridge, which looks like a harp. It's this bridge here. I think I'm using that on one of the other sightseeing layouts though, because if it's not in here, then I've already put it with another pre-planned layout. So I'm pretty sure that I've already done that because I remember grabbing it. So this would be a good layout for it to be on, but honestly, I don't think I would have room for it anyway. So, all right. So what I need to figure out on this side, because this side's relatively simple, it's going to be something like the last one where I've just got all these pictures and I'm going to add a tad of embellishments. And I am going to mat in green and orange. The Ireland colors are green, orange, and white. So, and again, I'm just kind of matching the paper. So I'm going to just alternate the matching. I think the bus pictures would probably look better in the orange because there's actually orange in the pictures. Or is it too much orange? I don't know. But I think that maybe the city pictures might be better in green. I don't know. Honestly, it could probably go either way, but I honestly feel like the city pictures actually look better on the orange. And this to me looks like too much orange. So I don't know. I know you guys would probably say you'd mat it in the orange because there's orange. There's very little green in these pictures, if any. Very little background, but I almost think they pop a little bit better. And I think these pop better on the orange than they do on the green. Like, I just don't think that that does anything for that at all. So I'm going to do it in reverse of what I initially thought I was going to do. So that's kind of figured out. We'll come back and mat that in a minute, but let's figure this situation out over here because I want to see the word Ireland and I want to see most of this. I mean, I might cut off that top thing there, but it looks like 5 inches roughly, maybe even 4 3/4 would be more safe. And honestly, these pictures probably have enough. Like these two are taken further away. The one taken of us is closer up, but um, I think I can make all of these 4 3/4 long very easily. I'm keeping them at 4 inches wide though. So let's just see without cutting off our feet if we can make this happen. Okay, so barely, but what I can do is there's a tiny bit of space left under the feet. So if I take that tiny bit off and then I do the 4 3/4, it does work. I mean, it's at the top of the statue's head, but it works. So for this one, I'm going to take a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom just so the photo stays a little bit more centered. And these photos, I don't plan on matting. They're just going to be butted up against each other, taking up that white space. No big deal. So All right. I think since I'm wearing green and nobody else is, I'll put me in the middle just to kind of. So this is what I'm thinking. And honestly, there's enough space on the sides I could take off if I wanted these to be like inside these black lines, which I'm not hating the idea of that actually. So how much would I have to take off? Well, I got to do math. So it's 11 inches, and these are already four, they're 12. So there's an inch total that has to be taken off, but there's only 3 photos. Let's start with, I'm going to start with a quarter of an inch and work my way down because I'm pretty sure a quarter of an inch at least would be. And honestly, if I cut them too short and I have a little bit of a gap between them, it's actually not going to upset me that much. I mean, it's just white brick. You won't see much really, but it's not like the previous layout where you can see all the green in between the pictures. But let's just start there and see. Because I kind of like the idea since there's so much dead space in the pictures that we don't actually need. I like the idea of this. So, what I could do is just take a little bit off the end. I wonder, nobody would probably notice by looking at it that one picture is smaller than the other. It literally looks like an eighth of an inch that needs to come off, or a quarter at the most. So I could take it off the middle picture. Let's take off an eighth of an inch. Let's see. That looks about right. Let's see if they fit up against each other. It's still a little too long, actually. So we need, it probably was a total of a quarter of an inch. So let's take off another eighth from just the middle picture because then it makes a little bit more sense that, the middle is one size and the two ends are a different size. But honestly, I don't think anybody would be able to tell that much just by looking at it. I mean, you'd have to really be looking at it, and who's doing that? Yeah, so that works out pretty good. And you still see most of the city skyline below. So I like that. I really like that. And I mean, I'm leaning towards because when you have things like this where there's only one border on a sticker sheet, you can't use it on a double page spread. I think it's actually kind of good on pages like this where maybe I want to just anchor the bottom or something. So I'm thinking about putting that there because again, I can't use it on a double page spread. And I just feel like I don't know, like I just feel like this needs an anchor of some sort, even though it'll go into the top of that building in the skyline. I think that's what I might do. Let's go ahead and glue these down. I think that'll tell me. I apologize in advance. I mean, I was hoping there'd be no yard people coming while I'm trying to record, but the house next door looks like it has yard people that just pulled in. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear them or not. Hopefully not, but probably. They haven't started yet, but I see them out there getting set up. So I haven't glued down my center one yet. I'm just kind of lining up my last one with that border on the side, which is crooked already. So I really debated filming this late in the day too, thinking all the yard guys are probably going to come. They like to come later in the day. Okay. So I think I am going to put this border sticker on here. I do have another one of these coming. So all 3 books will be able to have this. So again, I'm trying to keep it as close to the same as possible. They're not all going to be exactly identical. I'm getting that stuck to my pictures. Um, but as close can be because it just makes it easier on me. Like once I get this layout done, I can just copy it twice and not put a lot of thought into stuff. So yeah, I mean, I kind of like that. I mean, it's kind of bold and kind of just I don't know, it's like there, but we're gonna go with it. Okay, so these longer pictures are going to be on the orange. So those pictures are, I think these are like three. Oh, they're 3.25 by 6. So it needs to be 3.5 by 6.5. And I'm actually just going to cut each one individually like this, long ways, because I can get them all out of this scrap of paper. So there's 3.5. Wait, what did I say this was? 3.25, right? Yeah, 3.25 by just 6. So it's 6.25 that I want, not 6.5. That's why I was second guessing myself. I was like, I don't think that's right. Get those cut. Get all my mats cut first, and then I'll go ahead and start gluing them down. Again, this layout won't be much to embellish just because it's so busy and so much, it's so full already. Now this one is 4 by 3.25. So it'll be 3.5 by 4.25. So I'm gonna do the 3.5. I'm trying to get as many photo mats out of each paper as I can for all 3 books. Not that I don't have plenty of cardstock to use up, but I don't know if that was the best way to cut that or not, but okay, that fits. Um, I think if I do one of the 4.25 and then this one be the 3.5 side or whatever, I think that I might get a few more out of that one. So this is the 4.25, 3.5. Wait a minute, why does one look? Oh, this is the scrap. I was like, why does one look wrong? Okay. All right, so let's see about matting these. All right. So we already have one of them there. This one, all right, these are scraps. All right, now I got it together. Well, I guess we'll start with these because I already got one down here. And this is a two-tone cardstock, so I want to make sure that I'm doing it on the side that I want. I feel like this one matches that the closest, so the lighter side. Okay. Hoping I have enough room for all these pictures with them having mats because I cut them down a little bit more to make sure I had room for mats, but I didn't measure everything to see if it was all going to fit with the mats all inside of this like border. So we will see. I just had to fill up my tape runner. Okay. Okay, and then this one. So then I'm going to dry fit them there and see if they actually fit inside that square with mats. If they don't and they're just over a little bit, there's really not much I can do about that at this point because I have already cut them and matted them. So trimming them, at this point probably isn't going to help. So if we get these really close, they fit in long ways. Look at that. I think they're going to fit. They fit. Yay. So they have a little bit of the white, but yeah, I like it. Now let's go ahead and put them all down. I'm going to just line them up with the corners. So there might be a bigger gap there than, between the photos than there would be. My cat Baxter's trying to walk in my filming area here. Trying to back him off there. I'm going to do the top and bottom rows first and then fit the middle. And I tilt my whole page while I'm trying to do adhesive. Okay, and we'll just fit these two middle ones in. Just trying to make it evenly spaced, top and bottom there. Okay. And that was the end. Okay, so I know on my Dublin sheet here or somewhere, one of these word stickers I thought might say Samuel Beckett Bridge. So I thought that would be a cool place to put that. Let me just see. I just feel like I had seen it somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw it on something that I didn't buy. I don't know. I feel like I bought just about everything. So I'm not seeing it. If I run into it though, it's going on that right there. I wonder if it was on any of these small things. No, not on that. Not on that. I just really thought I saw it somewhere. It's like kind of a major icon of Dublin, so you would think. I'm just double checking because I miss stuff all the time. Um, well, see, this says Dublin with that. Maybe I plan on putting that on there. I know I saw something that had it. Maybe it wasn't the words. Okay, it's not on there. And this doesn't have any words. So maybe that's what I was thinking of. I know I saw the Samuel Beckett Bridge somewhere. So it's getting used here because this is the perfect place for it. So we're going to put that somewhere. I don't know if it'll go right on the picture because it's so big, but what if we kind of just put it between these two pictures? Kind of in the center. Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to try to do here? Let's just take a look at our sticker sheets here. See, I do want to use, I feel like I'll end up using all of this except for Kiss Me, I'm Irish and maybe Luck of the Irish. But the rest of this, I feel like I could fit in. I feel like these four corners would go good on one of the cathedral layouts. Let's see here. Sightseeing, that would be a cute one to put on one. Maybe I'll put it on this picture up here because this is actually where we were on the bus doing the sightseeing. So, the whole trip was sightseeing, if we're being honest, but maybe just like this. The whole trip was sightseeing, but this was our bus. Like I bought tickets for 2 days to hop on and hop off of that, so we could go. Oh, and this Molly Malone statue, that's something I wanted to do. So this sticker sheet has the Molly Malone statue on it. So even though it's a little bit repetitive, and it's also on one of these, yeah, it's also on this one, it's smaller. It's a little repetitive to put it there, but I'm going to use it. Honestly, I'm tempted to use the smaller one on here too, just because I have it, but I'm not going to, I don't think. I think I'm just going to put that there. I mean, I could put the smaller one up there. I know it's overkill for sure. I'm not saying that it's not overkill by any means, but otherwise, what am I going to do with it? It's going to be wasted. So I'm overkilling it, guys. I'm going to overkill. It's just a tiny one though, so I feel like it can kind of just sit. Maybe no, I don't know. I like it in this corner. It just doesn't, you know. If I put it at the edge of the picture, it kind of covers up Dublin a little bit. That's fine. There, it kind of blends in. It's overkill. I know. Don't yell at me. I just want to use it. My goal really would be to have all these completely empty by the time I'm done these books. I've never actually completely emptied sticker sheets. But I'm also trying not to go overboard early in the book because there's many, many layouts left to come. So I'm not seeing anything else I want to put on this side. So I think I'm going to leave it alone for right now. I'm not saying I won't ever come back to it. But yeah, these are all too big. So yeah, I think we're going to just leave it alone and call it good. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of today's layouts. Again, I know they're a little bit more simplistic, but I also feel like when you look at them, they are kind of busy. There's a lot going on, so I don't really know what else I could do um, to, honestly, I think this little leprechaun hat would look cute right here, like just Ireland sightseeing. There we go. Anyway, now they're done. But yeah, I know they're kind of more simplistic layouts, but some things are just like that. Some things like this page has so much on it already. I mean, I could add a few things in some corners, which I may end up doing at the end, but for right now, I'm going to leave it alone. And I need to dig into my St. Patrick's Day because I've got shamrocks and clovers or whatever that would definitely be good little embellishments when I don't have anything else to use. So I may add a couple of those here and there like I did on the previous layout. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you're excited for the next episode. Episode 3 will be 2 more Dublin layouts of more sightseeing, more buildings, things like that. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.